Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. It is Tuesday, so um, I'm getting back into the swing of things, bringing in more speed duel decks, especially since, like I said on Saturday, November is going to kind of go a little crazy. We're going to get the Battle City Finals set. I got to do something with Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon has been requested. Cyber Dragon's cool. They just let him off the restrictions list. And I'm going to be honest, coming into this build, I was thinking one of three skills. I had Bandit Keith's little switcheroo skill, and I was like, I don't think they've reprinted that yet for anybody, so um, I'm not too sure that that's like super easy access or anything. I thought about, I think it was something cyber style, whatever. I settled on the power bond skill. Um, because I think there's actually a shot we can make a super powered Cyber End Dragon because you're allowed to have all three of your Cyber Dragons again. So on the off shot, we're just gonna play and we're gonna do something for fun. But I think the Power Bond skill is where we're gonna be. So when you activate it, that's when this flips. When you do so, you discard a card, fusion summon a machine fusion from the extra deck using hand and field as material. Doodle-doodle-doo. It doubles. It gains attack equal to its original attack until the end of the turn, but cannot attack the opponent directly this turn. During the end phase, you have to take damage equal to the attack gained at the time of the summon. So again, this is like one of those big, like, if your opponent has a monster, you'll do it. But like, obviously, if they don't, you won't, because there's no point in you taking the 4K damage just cause. So, lineup, pretty simple. I'm going to be running 3 copies of Cyber Dragon because, obvious. I'm going to be running 3 copies of Proto Cyber Dragon. Now, this guy is going to help us a little bit. I wish we had some more of the Cyber Dragon archetype names. And, that's maybe something for the future. This one only becomes Cyber Dragon while on the field. Any other time, it is just Proto Cyber. So obviously, if we get this and we open with like 2 Psys and a Proto, you could special summon, Power Bond, rip into 3, or you could just simply just play the 1 and then rip into all 3. And go ahead and put up your big board, AK Monster and a Speed Duel. Which is fine. And since this is probably going to be lacking into the grind games, I decided to go with 3 Mechanical Chasers to round out our monster lineup. And this is just like me being a goofball. I think that since this deck can play a grind game, I think Mechanical Chaser is worth being boarded. Moving off into the spells, I got my 2 Book of Moon. Again, this is so useful. One of the things that can beat a Mechanical Chaser is Breaker while it still has its counter. And there's no easier way to disarm Breaker than to just wait for the summon and hit it with the Book of Moon. Again, if we were using traps, we got a couple traps at the end of the list. Opponents got Genza, we could do that. If they hit us, or they summon their own Dahlgren, or we play a Dahlgren to their side, this drops it down to like 1200 defense. We'll see in the side deck. But Book of Moon's just a great card all around. We're still going to use the Cosmic, still going to use the MST, still going to use a Night Beam. Part of this is because that's just like standard package in the way that I play. And you guys are obviously welcome to change that any which way suits your play style. But again, since we're kind of going for like a big push, I don't want to get hit with Sakuretsu armor. Like, I don't want to see widespread ruin. I just, there's things I do not want to see happen. Or like if I hit before I go for my power bond and the opponent's like, yeah, cool, well, it wasn't a Night Beam, so I'll activate Wabaku. It's like, cool, so there's no reason to push that turn, you know what I mean? So it's great to test out the limits. Continuing, I'm going to run 2 Overload Fusions. So this lets us get a Dark Machine Fusion from our extra deck by banishing materials from Field and Grave. Yeah. So I think Chimera Tech Overdragon is actually our only... and you know what, give me half a second. I'll actually just check real quick. So it would appear that I am wrong on this. It is not the only one because the Cyber Dark Dragon is also Machine Dark Fusion. I'm not too sure how I forgot it was actually a machine instead of being a dragon, but good to know that we actually have more than one option to play into. Later on, I do understand that like a lot of the other like chimeric fusions for Cyber Dragon are probably too powerful for this format, so we shouldn't expect too many additional goodies. But this does let us play like a big board. Um, Depending on what happens. Last couple spells, I'm going to use some copies of Shrink. Shrink, unlike Lost Wind, does not need it to be a special summon monster, but it's also not going to take away the card's effects. Just gives us a little bit more grind game fight, and then to round it up to 22 copies of Lost Wind. So, good stuff. This will be the main board again. Um, Go ahead and take your screen caps, or pause and make some notes, and I'll be back with the rest of this deck here just a moment. Okay, so I'm going to break my norm. I'm actually going to go with the extra deck first, and then going to go with the side deck afterward, and we're going to see how that works out. So first up, 2 copies Chimera Tech Over Dragon. I think this guy needs a little bit of screen time. So this is going to be Cyber Dragon plus any amount of fusion monsters, which is good because if we're doing overload, it could be a few. Must be fusion summoned. If this card is fusion summoned, send all other cards you control to the graveyard. This is important. If I play for this, this is my last ditch move. There is no playing anybody else with him unless they come out after him. The original attack and defense of this card become number of materials times 8. This card may attack an opponent's monsters a number of times equal to the amount of materials used. So if I go ahead and I use like 4 materials, I would be able to hit 4 cards. Again, this is speed duel, so like really caps out at 3 as far as how big the attacks go. It's just a matter of how much power you want to put behind the punch. So again, I play 2, mostly because there's 2 overload fusions, but you can always discard one of them for a power bond. It's fine. Power bond's only real target is going to be the Cyber End Dragon. Again, it's going to take 3 Cyber Dragons to make it. The fusion summon can only be done with the above materials. And then, of course, it has piercing damage. Now, somebody's going to try to correct me. It says it can do fusion summon. Yeah, but it doesn't say it can only be fusion summoned. So, you guys already know where that's going and why that's important. Now, since I definitely have some Waking the Dragons, Cyan is a target for that, as is Blue Eyes Ultimate, Destiny End, and Ojama King. So again, it just lets me get like big card, bigger card, spot destruction card plus burn damage, or collapse your zones. And then going into the side, I got the double Dahlgren because again, it's really good stuff. I decided to keep my 3rd Shrink over here. I've got a single Mind Crush, because again, we're towards like the middle of the meta now. Decks are really solidified. If your locals doesn't like have a certain like meta going through there, I don't know what is happening. That's just what happens. You'll be able to pick the cards. And then last 2 copies Waking the Dragon, because again, it lets you play 2/3 of your extra deck for free. It can help you cheat out an extra Cyber Dragon if you want. But it's just good. So this is the deck. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to have another one on Saturday. Not even going to hype it. It's just there will be another Speed Duel deck this week. Thursday, we're going to be doing Time Wizard set review. I already did the deck list for the update of how I played like the starter decks plus Legend of Blue Eyes. So it's time to add some more cards into the card pool for us. And to do that, and Celestial doesn't know about this yet, but while I was out shopping, I saw that there were some of these 25th anniversary Metal Raider reprint packs. So we're going to have her open these on the video, and we're going to do that after we take a look at the what's in the set. So maybe we'll get something cool, and then she can have that to use for her deck. And it's going to be a pretty cool week. So for now, my friends, I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope to see you guys back again next time. All right? Later.